Hello and good afternoon to all my beautiful Wicked fans out there. So, enough time has passed and I have taken some time to really reflect on the film, and I have literally come to the conclusion that it is a brilliantly sophisticated, gorgeous, and just overall incredible film. Wicked is just a love letter to us as fans, and Jon Chu really took the time and made sure that he was doing it right for us, and it completely shows on the film. Like, and y'all, you saw my reaction. I knew I was going to be emotional. I didn't think I was going to be that emotional. Like I was having an emotional breakdown in my seat, and I literally had to like hide my face as I walked to the car, because I didn't want people thinking that there was like something like physically wrong with me. Like, the reaction that it gave me, I've never ever experienced something like that before. And maybe it's because I have such an appreciation and a deep love for Wicked, and just, you know, after years of waiting and finally seeing it on the screen. But like, again, a movie can do much more than what a stage show can do. Like, so we got a lot more with the movie. So it literally just took my breath away. So this is going to be a warning. With this review, there's going to be spoilers. So if you have not seen the film yet, please save this video and watch it whenever you do see the movie. But I'm going to be discussing some spoilers. So warning, spoilers. Okay, you still with me? All right, let's get to this review. So I'm just going to start from the beginning. The opening shot of the attic. You see the water where she's melted. It's very dark and brooding, and you know something bad just happened. And then, of course, in the background, you hear Glinda announcing to the Munchkins that the Wicked Witch of the West is dead. And then the monkeys crash through the glass, and then it starts No One Mourns the Wicked with the huge orchestra, and it's very epic, and the camera's flying all over Oz, and it's just, when that happened, I was like, oh, we're in for a real treat. It was just, oh my God, it was the best beginning ever. Now, No One Mourns the Wicked, I tried picturing this in my head. I was like, how are they going to do this? How are they going to do it? And they did it. Like, Ariana Grande, she was spectacular. She sounded fantastic. The Munchkin Land set was incredible. It was beautiful. It was immersive. It was grand in scale. Production of this film is just, it's top notch. If this does not win an Oscar, I will be deeply upset. And then when they pulled the huge wicker statue of the Wicked Witch of the West, and you hear the orchestra, and you hear Glinda doing her opera singing, it's just, oh man, waterworks. It was incredible. And then like her face when she's holding the flame, she's like, you can tell she's like contemplating, but she can't show that she was friends with her. She's supposed to be a leader. So she swallows her pride and she throws the torch, and the Wicked Witch bursts into flames, and it was the most beautiful thing that I have ever seen. Seriously, the opening scene is incredible. Like, it's so good. It was perfect. Like, it was so perfect. And then can we talk about the little girls that played young Elphaba and young Nessa Rose? I don't know about you, but every single showing that I went to, when Nessa Rose spoke and you hear her little mouse voice, everyone died. They were like, oh, it was the cutest thing ever. And the little girl who played young Elphaba, kudos to you. I really, really hope she goes places. Yeah, she has a small role, but she took advantage of it, and she did really, really well. And then, of course, you know, you get the backstory about Elphaba's mother, you know, fooling around with somebody else. I'm not going to say who it is if you have never seen the Broadway show. But, yeah, I just love seeing that backstory. And then you get, you know, the birthing scene, and you get to see the animals. Oh, it was so good. It was so stinking good. And then we get to Shiz University. Man, Universal would be so dumb not to do anything with that. Like, these sets are so grand and they are so detailed, and just they need to put them in a theme park, or do what they did with Harry Potter and do like a Wicked exhibition, like where you go through Shiz University and the Emerald City and Munchkin Land, like, and the Ozdust Ballroom. Like, Universal needs to capitalize on that, because hi, paying customer, I will go. But anyway, Shiz University, gorgeous school. It makes me want to go back to school. Every scene at Shiz University was great. Now, The Wizard and I, moved me to tears. Now, it's not one of my favorite songs in the Broadway show, but in the movie, oh my God, so good. So singing good. Cynthia Erivo, I keep saying it over and over again that the casting for her is just top notch. I didn't know how incredible she was going to be. You know, all we have to see is the trailers, but seeing her act out these iconic songs, my God, hi Oscar, you, like, she's spectacular, and her voice is like butter. And can I just tell you, Cynthia Erivo has some of the best eye acting I have ever seen in my life. She doesn't have to say anything, but her eyes act out what she is feeling. So many instances when that happened, it was just incredible. The Ozdust Ballroom scene, she doesn't say anything. She is just stoic, and you look at her eyes and you can feel everything that she's feeling. And that's a hard job to do, but Cynthia Erivo nailed it. She nailed it. She just was spectacular in everything that she did. Like, I have absolutely zero notes on her. And when she's confronting the wizard about him being a fake, oh my God, she doesn't like cry hysterically, but you can see the tears like building up, and it was so powerful, and she just stood her ground, and she was Elphaba, and it was just, you know, she was so much different than the Broadway show. The Broadway Elphaba is very like, I'm angry, I'm gonna attack you. She took it in a way that was just like, I know I'm different. I know you're talking crap about me, and it's okay. I'm just gonna kill you with kindness. I personally like that approach to Elphaba instead of the hardcore attacking. Like, I don't know if that was Cynthia Erivo that decided on that, John Chu, whatever, whoever did it, kudos to you. It was so much more effective. So much more effective. Next, we've got to talk about Dr. Dillamond. That goat destroyed me. He was, first of all, the cutest thing on the planet. And Peter Dinklage did such a great job with his voice. It was so touching. I've always loved Elphaba and Dr. Dillamond's relationship, and this one really expanded on it. Like when Elphaba stayed behind, you know, and helped him pick up the poppy flowers and everything, and he just was so sad. And then Elphaba was like, I don't have any friends, and Dr. Dillamond was like, you have one, and he held up his little paw. I was like, oh my God. It was so good. And I love that, you know, in the Broadway show, them talking about like something's happening in Oz. It's all one scene. I love how they expanded on that. They actually went out of the grounds of Shiz University and they went into like the animal stables, and then you got to meet more talking animals. It was really, really cute. I love their meeting. It was good. And of course they sang Something Bad, which, you know, it's not really a full song, but it's super cute and I loved it. Everything, Dr. Dillamond, he was so good. And then when they took him away, they were so mean to him, and it like made me really sad. But that's the story, and it was very, very effective. So good job, guys. And then, what is this feeling? Such a fantastic number. Everything, the choreography, everything was so good. And I loved, and I got big laughs. Every single showing that I went to received big laughs when Elphaba and Glinda are going, you know, my pulse is rushing, my head is reeling, and when Ariana Grande went, yeah, well, my face is flushing. Genius. It was so funny, and it brought up so many laughs. It was just, so good, so good. And I just love how, you know, they paid homage to the Broadway show, but then they made it their own. What is this feeling was so good, No notes, no negative notes. It was perfect. It was a perfect scene. And then we get to Mr. Jonathan Bailey as Fiyero Titular. Bruh. Dude is hot. My God. I don't know if this happened in your theater, but every time he was on the screen, you just heard, He was so incredible. He played a Swanky Prince perfectly. He was so good. And okay, Dancing Through Life, like, is such a great, energetic song. And Jonathan Bailey is so extremely talented. You know, he does have a dance background. He did all of his own stunts. You know, him jumping on the books, sliding on the books, him flipping over the pole, everything. That was him. He used no stunt doubles. And then the camera work and the precision. Dancing Through Life was out of this world. It was so cool. It was incredible how they just used the library. They used the books, and everyone just sounded great. Everyone worked as a team. And man, Jonathan Bailey, man, he is an incredible talent, and I'm very, very excited to see his future, because he played Fiyero so well. He was, you know, dumb, he was airheaded, he was funny, he was charming. Just, again, no negative notes about Jonathan Bailey. He was everything, and I can't see anybody else playing Fiyero besides him. Like, again, they need to have an Oscars category for best casting. It needs to happen, because this movie would win it. Hands down, would win it. So now, let me focus on Ariana Grande. I want an apology from every single person who ever doubted Ariana Grande. She dedicated her time, her energy, just everything into this role, and it shows. She was just so, she was out of this world as Glinda. Like she like as Cynthia Erivo was Elphaba, Ariana was Glinda. When I was watching it, I was like, I didn't be like, oh, that's Ariana Grande doing a Glinda impression. No, I didn't see Ariana Grande. I saw Glinda. Like, her voice was just so angelic. She has the best comedic timing. Like every single line she did, it was perfect. And, you know, Elphaba's very, very stoic, and she's like level-headed and grounded. And then Glinda brings the comedic, just the comedic performance of it. So they balance each other out, and it's just, Ariana Grande, man, she's getting her and Cynthia Erivo are getting a lot of Oscar buzz. And, I'm not just saying it. because I'm a diehard Wicked fan. I'm saying this because I love filmmaking and I love movies. What I saw was Oscar worthy. It was incredible. It's just, I'm so happy. I'm so happy for Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. They worked great together. Their voices blended so perfectly. And I'm like getting emotional just thinking about it, but like they were those characters. They were immersed and it transported me. I never once saw the actual actor. I saw the character, and that is a true definition of an actor. Just bravo. Just bravo to the both of them. Ariana Grande, she was spectacular, brought me to tears several times, and I'm so proud of her. So proud of her, so proud of Cynthia Erivo. I'm so proud of John M. Chu. I'm proud of everybody. I'm proud of freaking everyone. Now, let's talk about Michelle Yeoh as Madame Morrible. Oh, honey. First of all, her costumes were breathtaking. Paul Tazwell, Oscar for you. Yeah, Michelle Yeoh looked gorgeous, and she did Madame Morrible so well. I loved how dark and sinister she was. Like in the Broadway show, yeah, she's like mean and stuff like that, but you still feel like she's still good in a way. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, you can kind of guess after the end of the movie. You're like, oh, she's not who we thought she is. But Michelle Yeoh was, I just loved how dark she was the entire time. You know what? You're gonna be a baddie. Why not be a baddie from the very beginning? Loved it. Loved her interactions with Glinda, Ariana Grande. Man, just shooting daggers at Glinda, man. From the very beginning, it was, whew, like, Glinda, you okay, girl? You need to sit down. Yeah, Michelle Yeoh was great. And one of my favorite shots of the movie was with Michelle Yeoh when she claps her hands and is addressing to the monkeys, and she turns around and she's walking in slow motion, and you see that sinister look she has, and the monkeys are flying behind her and is walking in slow motion, and then you have that amazing orchestra and chorus. Here's your flowers, girl. Here's your flowers. John M. Chu, you directed that. That was one of the best scenes in the entire movie. Oh my God. She looked badass, and it was, oh my God, it gave me chills. I'm getting chills just thinking about it. Like, if I can just put that scene on replay, I'd be a very, 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 very happy man. And now let's talk about Jeff Goldblum as the Wizard. I mean, I can't really say anything. Like, to me, he's probably the one thing that I'm just like, you know, he's literally playing Jeff Goldblum. He's literally playing himself as the Wizard. Like, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't provide anything different. He's very sporadic and zany, but that's Jeff Goldblum. So he literally is playing himself. I mean, he's adorable, don't get me wrong, and he's a very attractive man, but he's literally playing Jeff Goldblum. Like that's it. Next, we have Marissa Bodie as Nessa Rose. Absolutely loved her. Again, I love the fact that the casting actually casted a person that is disabled, and the representation, the inclusivity is incredible. Love that. I thought she was very, very sweet. She was very light, very bubbly, and I think she did it very, very well, because you know what happens in Act 2. She changes, and I think it's going to be very, very cool to see her go from bubbly and happy and to what happens in Act 2. But speaking of Act 2, because she is in a wheelchair, like she's permanently in a wheelchair. She's disabled. I just don't know how they're going to do Act 2. Are they going to like totally like rewrite the scene? I don't want to give anything away. But like something happens to not only Nessa Rose but somebody else, and it like changes them. Wink, wink. So I just don't know how they're going to do it. I have full faith, but I'm just like, how are they going to pull that off? So I'm very, very intrigued about part 2, especially that scene. And then we have Ethan Slater as Bach. Absolutely charming. Loved him. I loved how he was a klutz. It's so funny because I couldn't help myself but think about, Ethan Slater and Ariana Grande being together, and I just love that they're an actual couple in real life, and Ariana Grande is just so dismissive of Bach, and it just made me laugh, which I think maybe that's what made it, which made their interactions better. Maybe the fact that they were a couple and stuff, so it just was like, oh, this is really cool. It's very scandalous, But I loved him. He was, like I said, he was very charming. He was very klutzy, and yeah, I do love Bach. He's a sweet character, and he is the heart, the heart of Wicked, and it's just, yeah, I really, really appreciated what Ethan Slater did. I loved his look. Like I said, I loved that the Munchkins all had like crazy curly red hair and stuff. Loved it. Yeah, Ethan Slater, good job, buddy. Now I kind of want to talk about I'm going to talk about the Ozdust Ballroom scene. Oh my God. Every showing of that scene in my theater, you could hear a pin drop. It was just silent. You did hear like sniffles because people were crying. I was hysterically crying, and I think that's all thanks to Cynthia Erivo. She made that scene. Like I said earlier, you felt her pain. And then when her and Ariana are doing the dance and she like looks at the camera, 1 second she's not crying, and then she turns and there's waterworks and she just breaks down. Girl, oh man, I was a hot mess. The Ozdust Ballroom scene was perfection. And then, I don't know if you heard this, again, spoiler, when they started their dance, For Good was playing on the piano in the background. When I heard that the first time, I lost my mind. I was like, they're playing For Good. Oh my God, they are playing For Good. And it was so beautiful. It was such a beautiful scene. And I love the fact that in the movie, Glinda goes in for a hug. It was so beautiful. Oh, the Ozdust Ballroom scene, immediate tearjerker, but it was such an effective scene, and it's heart-wrenching, but it's beautiful at the same time. Loved it. And now we must talk about Popular. Ariana Grande killed it. She killed it. She nailed it. She was so stinking funny, and she sounded angelic. It was just, oh my God, it was so funny. Man, I've always wanted to know what the Glindas, in the Broadway show, what they do to keep their energy up during that scene, because oh my God, it uses a lot of energy. Like, and imagine them filming this scene for the movie. It took about maybe a week to film that entire scene, maybe even more. Girl, I want to know how many Red Bulls she drank, how many coffees she drank. My God, it was so good. And one of the most beautiful moments in that scene, is where Glinda sets Elphaba down and she puts the pink flower in her hair. Glinda, it drops to her level and says, "Look at you, you're beautiful." And Cynthia Erivo, again, being the iconic actress that she is, you could see the tears starting to swell up, but they don't drop. You just see them swell in her eyes. And her line delivery when she says, "I gotta go." Like, she whispers it and just walks away. So touching, so beautiful. And it was just such an iconic moment. Man, Ariana Grande, just, she'll win an Oscar for that scene alone. Like, hands down. Popular was just perfect. Nothing negative to say about it. It was just It was extraordinarily good, and just, it was shot beautifully. The dorm looked beautiful, the pink everywhere. And then when she went up, and then when she kept going up octaves at the end, and her doing her kick and her spinning, and Ariana Grande, girl, you nailed it. Okay, now I want to talk about the One Short Day sequence. I was smiling from ear to ear. My smile was so big that after it was over, I like kind of relaxed and my actual jaw was hurting. The One Short Day scene was so good. Not to mention that the Emerald City set was just spectacular. I just love the fact that it's all practical effects. I love that. And it just made it feel more real and immersive. And again, a great theme park experience. But I've always loved the One Short Day song in the show. So seeing this in like a live action like capacity was just so great. It was very magical and whimsical, and it just it just brought me so much joy watching it. And spoiler now, please, if you stuck around, this is a major spoiler because I'm going to talk about a cameo. Y'all, when Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth walked out on that stage, every single time I saw that show, we saw that part, my theater erupted in applause. They were cheering, they were screaming, and it was an incredible feeling. First of all, I thought they were just gonna have like little cameos of like her walking by and nothing. They had like a good scene. Like they sang. Idina Menzel sang. Kristen Chenoweth, did her cello note, and oh my god! And when Idina Menzel did her Elphaba battle cry, what was it? Was iconic. It was iconic. And then Kristen Chenoweth shutting Glinda up. Oh my god. It was the perfect cameo, and it just made the movie so much more special. The fact that we got the OG Elphaba and Glinda with the new Elphaba and Glinda, it all comes full circle, and it was just, it was so beautiful. I loved the One Short Day scene. And then we got, again, spoiler, if you're still here, spoiler. And then the person, the guard that said the wizard will see you now, that was Stephen Schwartz, who wrote the songs for Wicked. Like, that was really, really cool. Again, comes full circle, and I just loved how energetic the One Short Day scene was. It was just so good. And now the moment we have all been waiting for, the Defying Gravity scene. When you watch the Broadway show and you hear, Glinda go, why couldn't you just stay calm for once instead of flying off the handle? You get this, you get that bubbly feeling. You're like, what's happening? It's happening. This, I had that reaction times 20. I was literally like, oh god, it's happening. Oh my god, it's happening. Like, I was starting to lose my mind. Man, the Defying Gravity scene, it's spread out, which is great because it gives more emotional depth and everything. But man, Cynthia Erivo does stuff to Defying Gravity that I just can't put into words. It is just, like I keep saying, she's not human. She's out of this world. She's incredible. When they're having their conversation, her and Glinda in the attic, where she's like, you can still be with the wizard as you waited for. You can have all you ever wanted. Just Cynthia Erivo just going, I know. And she's like kind of talking through it and singing with it, and she's there being very quiet because she needs to build. Like, this is a building song. Like, oh man, it was so good. The acting with Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande was putting so much emotion into it. She just did such a great job. Like, Oh man. And then of course when they both break out into unison saying, you know, just you and I defying. Tears. Just tears, and then the sun is hitting their face, and just beautiful. Now, and I also want to talk about the scene where Ariana Grande, you know, puts the cape over Elphaba, Cynthia Erivo, and Glinda is like tearing up, and you can see the tears swell up in Cynthia Erivo's eyes, Elphaba's eyes. But she doesn't go out, she doesn't like go into a full cry. She then winks at Glinda. And it was the most powerful thing that I've ever witnessed. It was the cutest interaction. And I just, again, I don't know if that was Cynthia Erivo's choice. I don't know if that was John Chu's choice. But bravo, whoever decided to do that. I think it was Cynthia Erivo's idea to do that. It was just so, it was so effective. I loved it so much. And then as soon as, you know, and just seeing Cynthia Erivo like adjust her hair, adjust the cape and stuff, and her like breathing and just like taking it all in was so powerful. And then you hear the drums in the background, and then the shot of her, of like the sun behind her, and you see her silhouette, and she takes the cape, and again, I could watch that scene on a loop. It was, oh man, I'm like about to get emotional just thinking about it. Man, Cynthia Erivo, John Chu, man, that was such a great scene. Anyway, oh my God, sorry. It was powerful, oh my God. And then we get to her flying. She jumps out the window and she's falling, and then you hear in the background, you hear her father degrading her. You hear the Shiz students laughing at her, and she's falling and falling. Finally, she catches herself and she looks in the reflection, and her younger self is falling with her, and she's reflecting on her past. Again, you think about, how are they going to film Defying Gravity? And then they pull this off, and you're like, okay, I'll stop thinking, I'll just watch. It was so good. Like, oh man, when I saw the younger Elphaba falling with her, oh, I lost it. I absolutely lost it. She reaches out the broom, catches her, and then she starts going into her Defying Gravity. You know, her, so if you care to find me. Oh, and she's flying around and she's singing, and the monkeys are chasing after her, and the clouds, there's like a storm in the background, and Defying Gravity was one of the most brilliant scenes I've ever seen in a film. My heart was pounding. I was just like, I was in that moment. It got me. It got me. And I didn't want it to end. I did not want it to end. Man. And then her doing her battle cry, and it's so great how it starts off, like it gets super quiet, and then like this instrument just like builds and then just gets silent, and then she does it, and it was so effective, and it just, oh my God. And then you see her. And then you see her flying through the fields, and she just takes off like a fighter jet, and then it says, to be continued. First of all, I knew that it was that this movie was 2 parts, but when that scene was happening, I was like, no, this is not going to end. I need more. Defying Gravity, the whole scene of Defying Gravity is going to be talked about in film schools. It's an incredible, John Chu, man, you did that. And it was just, man, it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. You know, I'm getting kind of emotional just thinking about it, because, you know, I keep saying, you know, we've been waiting so long for this film, and you're getting so scared because you get really protective over something that you love. And you don't want, especially Hollywood, you don't want Hollywood messing a material that you treasure so much. And, you know, seeing the trailers and stuff and seeing all the interviews and stuff, I never doubted them. I knew this was going to be a great film. I just didn't expect it to be this perfect. And this film is going to change lives, and it's going to change the film industry. I cannot believe all of the reviews. People, like, when I was leaving the theater last night, the very last my last showing, I was like standing in the lobby trying to get a gist of what people were saying about it and stuff, and I saw a couple. The girl, you could tell the girl, because she was like dressed up. She likes musicals and she loved Wicked and stuff, but she brought her boyfriend. Boyfriend's wearing regular clothes, didn't like, you know. And I kind of like walked by him and I heard him say, "I now want to watch the Broadway show." Job done. Job well done. Like, if it's going to make you want to see the Broadway show, it did its job. It touched you that much that you want to see the, like, original production. Again, John Chu, you did that. You did that. I loved every bit of this movie, and I'm actually going to go see it again tonight. I'm actually going to see it in 4DX. I'm very, very excited. I'm very curious on how it's going to work, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. But guys, I can't say it enough how much I loved this movie. I could probably do like a 5-hour review of this, but like I kind of want to just do a breakdown of all the characters and the main, you know, and the main like scenes and everything. And this film was perfect. Now I have a couple of little things, because when I watch a movie, I feel like I'm like a robot, because when I watch a movie, I watch from the corner to every corner, every inch, and I'm always looking. That's how I've always been with movies. It's kind of a curse, because sometimes I can't really enjoy a movie because I'm always like, oh, this what's this happening? What's that? So it's just like, and of course I did it here, but it didn't really affect me that much. There were a couple little things. I'm not going to go into detail because it doesn't ruin my review of the movie. I still think it's a freaking perfect movie. But yeah, guys, please go see Wicked. This is gonna break records, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy that the film is finally out and that we can embrace it and love it. And also on December 25th, starting on December 25th, they're gonna be releasing sing-along versions, and it's now the time where you can belt your little Broadway heart out. So I'm very, very excited about that. But yeah, I thought Wicked, changed my life already, but this film changed it even more. I just feel so powerful inside. And now we literally have a year this day until part 2. We have another countdown, and it's going to be another year of trailer reactions and featurette reactions, and I'm very, very excited to do it with you guys. Also, I got a lot of comments saying, that the movie is almost 3 hours long, and can you really feel it? Me personally, I couldn't believe that it was 2 hours and 40 minutes. The movie doesn't feel like that. Everything was so smooth, and every scene was great. I didn't feel any lag time or anything. I thought everything was great. So I know people don't like long movies nowadays and everything, but me personally, I didn't feel like it was a almost 3 hour movie. I thought it was a perfect runtime, and I will say, and I will fight it to the day I die, this film deserves 2 parts. I know people are like, oh, but I would watch a 4-hour movie. Obviously not if you're complaining about it being 2 hours and 40 minutes. No, they needed 2 parts. They need to tell the story in 2 parts. Just saying. because they can't do it like the Broadway show. The Broadway show was the length of the movie. Like there are scenes that are very, very rushed. There's no characterization. There's no build-up. You know, it's not their fault. It's just because it's a Broadway show. Like, that's how it is. The movie can go into so much more detail, and Wicked needs it. So I thought the runtime was great. It didn't feel like it was almost 3 hours. I thought it was perfect. Well, guys, that is my review of Wicked. What did you guys think? I'm really, really curious to see what you guys think. So please let me know in the comments down below. I can't wait to see your reactions, and some of you have already given me your reactions, and it just warms my heart how much you loved Wicked. Like we went on this little journey together, and I absolutely loved it. So yeah, guys, I absolutely loved it. And whenever there's something new Wicked that's coming out, I will be on here. And please give me some more references of what you would like to see. Because I would like to continue doing this channel. So you tell me what you guys want. But guys, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you liked my review. Until next time, Wicked fans, I will see you in the movies, all right? Bye.